This episode of PTG is brought to you by the HK Army Black November sale happening right now at hkarmy.com. And you are not going to want to miss this, as they have up to 50% off the entire HK Army Fire Sale collection from now until December 1st. These are the biggest sales of the year all month long, with crazy discounts including $100 off Expand gear bags and 20% off on jerseys, pants, and more. Head on over to hkarmy.com and shop the fire sale right now. Let's go, PTG fam. We cannot thank you enough for supporting the companies that support PTG. This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an amazing online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need to be the best paintball player you can be. They have got it all. Head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and shop all of your favorite brands. And they also boast amazing customer service and will have this out to you with same-day shipping, which is amazing. It's always nice to know that your stuff is on its way immediately so you can start to use it that very next weekend of play. Check out their YouTube, Lone Wolf Paintball, and their Instagram at Lone Wolf PB, and stay up to date with all of their deals and sales. Play the Game podcast is immensely honored to have them on board, and we cannot wait for you guys to check out lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community. This episode of PTG is brought to you by Transfuse, the hydration, immunity, and mental clarity booster, and Transcend nootropics. And with just one serving of Transfuse, it is equal to 4 of the competitors in one. And there is no other formula as potent as Transfuse on the market. And you are all encouraged to go and compare the formulas with any other products on the market and see for yourself just how amazing it is. Transfuse uses all natural flavors, colors, and sweeteners, and there's no proprietary blends, so you know exactly every milligram of each ingredient you are consuming. This formula was created to optimize your mind, body, and immunity, and Transfuse can be used as a high-performance multiplier for working out and any competitive sports or demanding lifestyles. Also, be sure to get your hands on the Transcend, which is a nootropic formula that improves cognitive function and can replace your morning coffee, pre-workouts, energy drinks, or energy shots. The formula contains lion's mane, alpha GPC, teacrine, and dynamin. Transcend was created based off of research studies to help with cognitive control and mental function. So get your hands on some Transcend and some Transfuse today. Head on over to transfuseusa.com. Use code PLAYTHEGAME for 10% off and sign up for monthly delivery service for an additional 10% off to take advantage of 20% off these products altogether right now. Head on over there, support PTG. We appreciate you, and we'll see you in the show.
What's going on, PTG fam? We just got back from World Cup, epic event, biggest event ever in the world. Over 670 teams, absolutely incredible. But tonight's episode, we have Joey Blute, coach and the mastermind behind Tampa Bay Damage, who was a contender for the season series championship at the World Cup. This episode is one you don't want to miss, and without further ado, we are going to hop in the show.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication.
And the crowd starts chanting Harmon. Great shot by all the guys. So Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
All right, PTG World, episode number 218. Thank you so much for tuning in. Of course, we got the legend Marcelo right now, hot off his big win at World Cup, and we have none other than Joey Blute from Tampa Bay Damage holding it down. Joey, how you doing, brother?
Not as good as Marcelo.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. That is for damn sure.
I gotta say, man, it's feeling pretty nice, pretty nice right now. An insane event, insane weekend. But well, goddamn,
let me be the first to say, yeah, you earned it. Dynasty earned it. You know, there's a certain type of work ethic, and you know, you guys are hungry, and it shows in the way that you approach the layouts, the way that you approach the preparation, the play. So congratulations, my brother, on the World Cup win. Congratulations on the belt. the rings. I'm sure they bought you a cell
These belts
phone.
are ridiculous,
you got a
bro.
huge bag. What else? What didn't they give you?
Here comes the flex. Here comes the flex.
These things don't make sense though. Why do we? I don't know why we have these. For all the listeners, you can check out the YouTube. Why do we have this?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. If I had that, I would walk around the airport with it. I would walk around the field with it. I'd go to practice with it. I
brought it to dinner, bro.
Bro, you should literally take that to every practice. Whenever you travel to anywhere to play anybody, you should have that belt and just walk out with it. 100%. You should be like, come get the strap, boys. Come get it.
I would agree, but I think that makes you lose focus on the next one.
Does it?
Does
it make everyone else focus on you even more?
You know, whatever everyone else is focused on is not my concern. My focus is on the next one. So I will say, I wore it to dinner, brought it to dinner. It's heavy too. Shout out to the NXL for doing a proper one. It's heavy. It's nice. But fuck, we gotta focus on the next one. I also thought it was redundant. It's super cool, but it's the same thing as like the other awards they gave, but badass. Can't complain. Fucking
Dude,
epic.
you're like the Rock Johnson or
epic.
something. You know, you're like stone cold.
You gotta start cutting promos on people. Cutting promos on them. Do you smell?
Do you smell what
you
the
gotta
Rock?
come up with some taglines, man.
Yeah, I ain't got no taglines, man. I'm just having fun out there. I got a little lucky, dude. Impact.
It's not luck. Stop it.
It is a little luck, though.
It is a little that earlier. You know how hard you're working, man.
Listen, dude, it was noticeable. It was noticeable at the two events we won, and then seeing your preparation and seeing you at Cup. You weren't the same cat. Like the two losses, you could tell that you were more focused for this event than you were for anything this whole year. And it was noticeable. I mean, I noticed it when I saw you. And then when we played you in the first round, I noticed it after just shaking hands. I could see it in your eyes. You were just like, fuck this. I'm not doing this again. Like, you know, I mean, but that is what it is. Like, you have to have that. If you don't have that at this point in our careers and where we're at in paintball, if everyone on your team doesn't have that, you're not going to win events. Like, that's just the truth. And even if everyone does have it, you still might not win the events. So,
you know, it's funny you mentioned that, Joey. I really pay attention in that line when you're shaking hands at the end of a game, whether you win or lose. And the body language of the opponent tells me a lot about the players, whether they've won or lost. I judge people on that big time going through those lines. You could tell, like, when you beat a team and you go through and you shake hands, you could tell the ones you're like, don't sleep on that motherfucker.
Yep.
And then when you lose to a team, you could still tell, like, you know, fuck that guy. You know, you can tell like certain things that are just inherently part of people through that line.
I think that line
after a loss.
That's what I think that line though, like immediately after, like it's the real person, right?
Yeah.
Like what we're doing right now, like we're real, but it's not the same, right? Like that emotion, that physical aversion you have to put out to get to the win or the loss, right? When you're doing that shake, like you can't fake that. Like it is what it is. Happy, sad, mad. Like you might push it down a little bit, but it's still there. You could just read it in people. I agree. When we beat somebody and we walk through it, everyone's happy that we're playing. I'm just like, oh, the fuck's wrong with these idiots?
Totally.
Right? Like it doesn't make any, like it blows my mind. I'm like, why are you here? Like, how could you possibly be happy at this point? But you know, certain people like you had a look like when we did the handshake thing, it wasn't anger as much as it was like, never, this isn't happening again. And I picked up on it, right? Some of your guys were cool with whatever, because you know, it's the round that didn't count, but that shit still counts. You know as well as I do. We're all too competitive. Even at practice, we're too competitive. Like you lose a couple of points, it's like, oh, we're learning the field, but you start losing points, you're like, fuck that. I'm not losing anymore. Yeah.
You know, there's such an interesting balance there because I hate that when you're like, oh, well, we're learning, we're experimenting, and there's something to that. You need to have that. But I'm like, okay, well, experiment better. Learn better, because we should also be competing, and your experiment should work. If you're good enough of a scientist, your experiment should work. It shouldn't always fail.
As a coach / manager / I used to play, I kind of can see all the different angles of it. And as a coach manager, I have to sell we have to learn, right? Yeah. Especially when you're playing teams and there's no refs and there's going to be all the fucking bullshit that happens at practices. It's kind of part of it. So you kind of got to have to sell that a little bit. But on the same note, you're still like, all right, I don't mind losing if they're cheating. I don't mind losing if we're bouncing them. But when we are not playing well and we're losing, that's a whole different mindset. Like, that's when I'm like, nah, fuck that. Put the best 5 in. The rest of you guys go sit down. You're being stupid.
Totally. You know, that's a big thing about coaching too, Joey. And I've noticed this from my experience in coaching divisional teams. And you see it in divisional coaching all the time, where they're just yelling at the team for losing, you know. Well, fix it. there is a difference between losing because of certain variables and losing because you're just making these crazy mistakes.
Yeah.
And so when my divisional teams are losing because of maybe they make the right move, but they lose the gunfight. Okay, cool. Maybe try to gunfight a little better, but you made the right decision.
Right.
So I'm not going to get too down on you for that. But when you make a bad decision or you just completely show a lack of understanding for the game and you come off of a zone or you don't understand the situation, you don't realize what you're supposed to do in that moment, that's when you need to address it. And it gets frustrating as a coach. And it's really taken me a long time to understand those things. And you only do understand it when you're on the outside watching teams play and you're coaching and you're like, oh, I see it so much more clearly now. Yep. You could lose every point in practice, but if it's because of, a certain way, it's okay, not so bad. But if you're losing because you're just not understanding the game or the field huge. Or then it's like, okay, shit, we have a big uphill battle right here. We need to like readdress everything,
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that's a big thing that a good coach can do. And honestly, I think every pro at a certain point in their career should coach divisional teams.
I agree.
It changes the way you do everything. Honestly, one of the biggest strides Jacobs made as a player was he started coaching the girls, the Cheetahs.
Yeah.
Now he comes back and when he thought I was yelling at him, he realizes it's not me yelling at him. It's me trying to correct issues.
Yeah, totally.
And instead of being defensive, now he's like, okay, shit, I get it. Like, this is the same shit these girls do to me when I try to explain them to them. Then I have to raise my voice because they're not listening. Right.
Right.
And I'm not yelling at you because I want to yell at you. I'm yelling at you because you're not listening. Like, you need to fucking listen. Like, so now he's a lot more open to that. And honestly, like, it's probably one of the big things this year that's changed on him. Because he started doing it last year a little bit. And then this year, completely, this whole year with the girls, he's in all the coaching for them. And now, like, he'll come to me and he actually came to me at one point. And he was like, my bad. Sorry about the last 3 years.
Well, he's grown up tremendously in the last few years, and he's become one of the best players in the league because of that. And it makes sense that he's been coaching another team because, Tyler and I talk about it all the time. We used to talk about it as players that would go overseas to compete with other teams, where you would be like the one player on a European team or an Australian team or South American team. You're forced to take on all the roles. You're forced to coach and come up with the game plans and be responsible for all of your teammates and what they're doing and clock management and making sure all that's okay, because players in other areas, they didn't understand that. Right.
Yep.
So it forced you to learn that and absorb it so quickly. Now it's the same thing coaching. If you can coach a team in a division lower than you, right, it's going to force you to look at the game in a much wider perspective. And it's going to force you to understand the game in a totally different way because you see it. It's so easy to see what should be done right or wrong on the outside of the game. When you're watching from outside the nets, it's like, well, you should go right now, or why did you make that move?
Right.
But when you're in the game, it's a whole lot different. So coaching is, it's huge. It really does bring a whole new perspective.
Yeah, it definitely helps you see everything differently for sure. For sure.
Joey, how long have you been coaching now?
I mean, even when I was doing the managing side of it, it was always like Coach Paul and myself. I would do the snake side coaching. He would do the in-pit coaching and handle that stuff. So, I mean, I've been doing paintball forever, and I've been coaching the whole Damage basically from the start until that break I took. Then I did the 1 year with Mutiny, and then now back with Damage as the coach. My style of coaching is way different than everyone else's, though. Like, to me, at this point with the guys I have, it's not so much about X's and O's and this is what we need to do. I mean, at the end of the day, after the first day of practice, everyone knows what we should be doing. The fields aren't that difficult, right? I mean, obviously there's all kinds of nuances and ways and ups and downs and lefts and rights and all the stuff that you guys have gone over a million different times. But it's more of getting people in the right position to be successful, whether it's playing with the right people, it's dealing with all the dumb shit that you guys don't want to deal with because you shouldn't have to, right? On the field, off the field, just handling all of the little stuff. Because at a certain point, it's about half of fractions and shit, right? It's like a 0.25% increase on something is the difference between us losing to Revo and us beating Revo. That's the truth. Like, that's the difference between you guys losing or winning to Impact. Like, it's literally, I saw 1 point. K-Fed made one move. If he wouldn't have made that move, you guys would have won that point. And then I see him make a move the next point that wins the point for you. So I understand why he's doing it, but you know, to me, it's more it's such a small fraction of shit that even just like having clear lenses, as stupid as that sounds, if all of a sudden it's overcast and you have to worry about having your clear and your smoke lens, that could be an issue. But if you go, yo, Joe, I need a clear lens, and I go, boop, here you go. You know, that might be 0.10% better for you now. Right. And that's the little shit, right? Making sure the water's there, making sure that two guys aren't doing all the work, because that's a big thing with a lot of the teams, especially divisional teams, right? So the guys that think they're the superstars, they like kind of like, because I'm good at paintball, I'm not doing any of that stuff. Right. And it's like, bro, like if you work like a unit on the field and off the field, that's a huge bump to your ability to win. And I think that's a big mistake a lot of teams make, right? Like, especially with the guys that think they're good. And I use that word loosely, because if you're not doing the shit I'm talking about, you're not good. Like you're not on a winning team.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, and I think that's a big problem. A lot of teams make the mistake on, especially early on. And they're just relying on the dude with the money, or the dude that's not quite as good, who's on the team, putting in the same amount of work you are, but then doing all the extra bullshit. And I think that's especially in divisional stuff, I've seen it. Like when I did the semi-pro year, I got on, like when I first got on Mutiny, I brought those guys to reality. I was like, no, all you fuckers are helping. You're all going to carry paint. Every single one of you walk to the truck and grab it. Nah, we got a pit crew. I don't give a shit. Go do it. It's not your pit crew's job. Like, this is a team thing. Everyone does everything together.
Love that.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right, Joey, because it builds a different texture for the cohesiveness of your unit. You know, like you see everyone's chipping in, everyone's putting in the work, everyone's in it together. And that translates off the field onto the field. Huge, massive.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
It takes everybody. And Joey, you're talking about the little details. It's the first thing I address when I join a new team as a coach, right? I say, okay, let's look at all of the little areas that we're in 100% control of. These are things that there's stuff that happens on the field that you're not in 100% control of. You can't control those variables, right? So the things that you can control in the pit, even on the field, arguing with refs, all the things that you can control, you have got to be so disciplined and methodical and 100% on, so that the percentages are just that much more in your favor.
Yep.
And if you're not doing that, then you're going to have a tough time winning, because just the odds are against you. They just are. But you
100%.
can tip the odds in your favor in the gamble by controlling the things that you are 100% in control of. You know, making sure that your paint is in a cooler. If it's 85 degrees in Orlando and it's 80% humidity, guess what? You need your paint in a cooler for off the break shooting. I saw so many people get bounced at this tournament. I'm watching film. Malloy in the pros. Malloy against Infamous in the 1-on-2. He goes to their corner, right? It's a 1-on-2. It's Malloy. Everyone saw that point. It was miraculous. He goes to their corner. It's a small cake. Everyone's like, why? That's like the worst spot in the world that you'd ever want to be in a 1-on-1, let alone a 2-on-1. And he finds a way to win it. But in that, he gets bounced in the arm, in the left elbow.
Yep.
From close range.
Yep.
Like, that's paint management. It is, because the paint's good. You know, when you take the paint straight off the truck, it's typically pretty good. But as soon as you let it sit for a little while in that humidity and it gets some moisture and some heat, not so good.
You want to go to big point stuff? How about this? How about the New York Extreme fucking Revo game with Weaver and PK on the 1-on-1? When PK first made that move into that tower on the other side, he bounced them in the side. That's paint management. That's literally your tournament. If that ball breaks,
he bounced Weaver in the side.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that.
Yep.
I didn't notice.
I was doing up the top with Maddie when it happened. I was like, holy shit. When he goes back and watch that, I mean, bro, when you go back and watch that one, that's more than painful. Like, you know, taking a loss as a team is one thing. That is literally it's all riding on you. And because maybe you did or didn't cool your paint, but that one bounce ball, like you said, those small percents like that, that's everything. That's the whole thing.
You could even have the pit doing everything right. You could have the paint being managed. But as a player, if you don't realize after like 2 points, you realize, okay, I carry 7 pods every point. I'm shooting 4 pods a point, but these 3 have been on my back for 4 points.
Right.
If you don't cycle those out,
that's on you.
That's on you. Then you get out there and you're in a long 1-on-1, and guess what? Those are the last pods. Like, now you're reaching to the pods that you haven't switched since the first point. You're pulling a pod that has been on your back the whole match. And you bounce somebody, you make a great shot. You bet it's on you.
100%.
It's on
100%.
you. And these are details that are like, I mean, they literally win or lose you World Cups.
The crazy part is these aren't even like secrets anymore. Like this is pretty common knowledge stuff, but it still happens.
It's
on
effort.
The pro. So if you know if it's happening on the pro, guarantee you it's almost 100% on division.
Oh God, yeah.
For sure.
I guarantee the only team that didn't have those issues this year would be Paintball Fit and
Joey
Blast Camp. First,
I gotta say, so like I had a little bit of an argument with our guys about cooling paint the first day. Whatever, we're not gonna get into that. But I was like, I don't know why we don't have a cooler. It's so brittle. Well, we still need a cooler. It's 80% humidity. It's hot. Like, let's get the cooler. Paintball Fit has this contraption. They have their big cooler. I saw them. They had like a 7:30 a.m. game on the pro field. So I was watching that game on the webcast. And they have this big cooler. And then in the cooler, they don't have bags of like I don't know who their sponsor is. I think it's GI. Let's just say it's GI.
It's GI.
So they don't have GI bags. They have I've never even seen a Ziploc bag this big. It's not a gallon size. It's a multi-gallon size bag, but they put all the paint in that and then put it in the cooler so that when they pull it out, they open it up, they pour it in the pods and then put it back in. Whereas if you have like a bag of paint that you open, you don't want to put an open bag of paint back in the cooler because now it's going to collect moisture. Yep. That's not good. Right. So like they go the extra mile. And guess what? What is Paintball Fit's #1 claim to fame?
Shooting people on the break.
Shooting people on the break.
Yep.
That is literally what wins them tournaments. They shoot people on the break. They don't take a lot of risk. They play 5 bodies up and they shoot people on the break. Yep. And you think that paint management doesn't have something to do with that? You're effing crazy. Crazy. And they have this, like, they have a great system. And I was like, that's brilliant. We don't even have it that great. So I was like, hey, look, guys, 100%. Me too. I was like, guys, look, listen, because typically we would have our pods filled and then the pods are in the coolers. Like, that doesn't seem good enough. Let's have the bags in there. And all the shooters will open a bag and then you'll pour the bag into your loader and then don't put that bag back in the cooler, right? Like that bag is done. And it makes a huge difference. But like Paintball Fit definitely is a great system. I saw it on the webcast. I was like, huh, nice. I love that. Oh, and it makes sense. They're the best shooting team off the break in semi-pro.
Yep.
They absolutely demolished the competition this season. I mean, Blast Camp.
Could you imagine being Blast Camp this year?
Oh man, it's brutal.
Second place at every event. Jesus, I don't know, man. I'd almost rather miss a cut somewhere.
Well, just to never get the monkey off your back, to never be able to beat that team is really brutal. That's a brutal thing.
And now they're
gone. You don't even have an opportunity. It's like, that's a brutal thing mentally. That's a brutal thing for sure. Yeah. And Blast Camp is an amazing team. They were without their best player. In my opinion, their best player is Soap. I think his name's John. I forget his last name, but he was injured this event. But still, I mean, Blast Camp or Fit, just both times they played him, kind of demolished them. You know, it's brutal. Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, Joey, we're going to be seeing them next season in the pro division. How do you think PB Fit is going to fare in the pro division?
Real talk, I think they'll be a 1-3, 2-2 team.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's not disrespectful for the people at home. No. That's super respectful. Like that's saying that they're going to be middle of the pack ish on their first year. So the disrespect would be if I was like they're an 0-4 team. Yeah, but I don't think they will be. I think that they're good enough shooters and they have enough gas to make the guys at the bottom of the pro division pay. And I don't know if they have enough to crack the top. I think they have a long way to go on that.
I guarantee they're going to put, the league on notice. They're hungry. They are hungry.
That doesn't mean they won't beat any of the good teams. I didn't say that. They will, because if they go out and sweet spot 2 guys a game for fucking 2 or 3 points in a row, you're fighting an uphill battle then on guys that know how to shoot their guns and hide.
I think they're going to struggle, Joey. They play your guys as paintball, your style paintball, damage paintball, I guess is a coined term. I learned that at the World Cup. Yeah. But people don't understand how high level damage paintball is. You can't just they don't get it. They think it's like, oh, go to spots and shoot your gun. That's not what it is. No. But they play a very conservative style of paintball, and it works against teams that are not as experienced as you.
Correct.
Because if you go down bodies, you can make good moves to even the count. You can you can do things to get yourself back in the game. I think they're going to struggle with that brand of paintball in pro. I really do.
Agreed. Because, I do agree. But you got to remember, there's some teams that currently are in pro that still don't know anything other than go. Right. So when they hit those go teams, they're going to chop them up. When they play us, you, or Tyler's team, if you want to pocket, we'll pocket you. And I promise you, we'll beat you in gunfights in the long run. Right. We'll just drag you to the deep end and drown you.
Yeah, but not just
you can't hang with us.
Not just
And that's all three
gunfights,
of us.
though. It's decision making too, right?
Well, that's,
yeah,
that's all part of it, right? Like the gunfighting
Yeah.
decision, to me, it's not just like snap shooting, right? Like the gunfighting
Right.
is being able to put the guy in, make the moves when you need to make the moves, and them not being able to counter the same shit. Right?
Totally.
And I think that's where
Totally.
they're going to struggle. And I think the top 6-8 teams, it's another level right now, right? Like, and they haven't experienced it, and it's going to take time. Like, you don't just jump. I mean, first time they jumped in, they got mollywopped down right away, right? It was the same squad. Obviously, it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago when they were AC Dallas, right?
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, they've had a little taste of it, and they're obviously a completely different team now and a completely better team. I watch them. I see it, right? Like, I've been paying attention to them since I saw they were coming up, and I watched them in Blast Camp because that's my job. So I've been paying attention to those guys, and they have a couple guys that can go, but the majority of their team's all about the shoot on the break and go when the opportunity's there. But they have to make the opportunity by getting those shots. And you're going to have a hard time doing that against the top 6-8 teams. Like, they're just not going to give it to you. I mean, that's why like people like say damage style of paintball is slow or whatever. It's not that we're slow, it's that we're smart. Like, we're not going to go out there and just run into guns. When we're playing Tyler Herman, who I know is going to go to this can, he's going to wrap right here and shoot here. I'm not sending Keith to the fucking snake. Tyler will shoot him. That's a stupid idea. So we have to bottle him up a little bit. When we're playing Marcelo and I see Marcelo shooting the D side, and I know he's shooting the gap between the can, or shooting the gap to the can and then switching to the second gap, I might risk my guy to the can, but there's no way in hell I'm going to risk my guy all the way to the corner knowing Marcelo's there. Now, once I change Marcelo's way of playing by either going up on points or having my guy run and shoot and have Marcelo go, oh shit, and have to get in for a second, next point I might go out and be like, okay, cool, let's risk the corner. And I think that's where they're going to struggle at first, right? Being able to dictate the pace of any game, damage style, quote unquote.
It's high level stuff. Yeah.
Right. It's not just get to your bunker, cross it up, despite what the world thinks.
No, you guys are great at, you play the breakout. However it works out, you play it. And if you get an advantage, then you suffocate.
Yep.
And that's the highest level of paintball there is, in my opinion. You know, it's not dictated at the start gate. It's dictated after the breakout. It's dictated like once the game is developed. It's like, okay, here's our advantage. We're going to fucking melt. Like, because we can. Because we can. And if we don't have an advantage, guess what? You have players that are willing to attack to try to regain the advantage. So, quote unquote, damage paintball is not this slow style, shoot off the break and hope they come into your guns. That's not what it is.
Yeah.
It's very calculated. It's very methodical. It's very high level in understanding situationals or situations and just, it's it's just not what people, think of when they say damage paintball, quote unquote.
The best way I can put it into people that aren't in paintball or people that are just getting into paintball to make them understand, it's kind of like watching MMA, right? Everyone watches MMA and loves to see people get knocked the fuck out, right? But if you're into MMA and you see someone get on the ground and grapple and wrestle and they're really good at it and you're into that, it's awesome. If not, you're like, this is boring. These dudes are just hugging each other.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm sure you guys know, because you guys are also, we're the top 3 teams in paintball right now. When we play people, they don't play us the same as they play other people. So the shit you see Infamous do against NRG is not going to be what Infamous does against Damage, Dynasty, or Heat. It's just changes because they know we're stronger at things than the other guys are. And they're not going to, on the same note, Travis is going to say, I'm not going to feed this body because I know Damage will shoot him. Right. So then they turtle up on us, which is smart. I'm not mad about it. So if you don't give us the ability to go, how the fuck are we supposed to go? You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like you want me just to run at people? Like, get out of here, dude. I'm here to win paintball tournaments. And the other side of that is it might not be as entertaining, but until Go Sports starts breaking bread to make the games entertaining, I'm not about that. Like, there's no reward to making it entertaining for the people at home. I'm trying to win paintball tournaments because that's what I'm here to do. I was brought in.
Totally.
I get paid to win paintball tournaments. So let's win paintball tournaments.
Facts.
Absolutely.
And this actually leads into Papa Sosh from the Discord. We have the PTG chat, and he was wondering, the famous book describes the Team Strange strategy as offensive zone. Is that concept still accurate for Damage even after 20 years later playing like an offensive zone, or no?
I don't think so. I think that's some shit somebody coined, no different than Damage style. Like it's just being intelligent on the way we do it. I mean, if you watch Dynasty play Heat, it looks a lot like Damage paintball. You know, if you watch Heat get up on somebody, it looks a lot like Damage style paintball. If you watch any finals, it looks a lot like Damage style paintball.
Really, it's championship paintball.
Right. It's winning.
Yeah,
That's literally all it is. It's winning. If you know how to win at paintball, you play Damage style paintball at some point in time.
For sure.
Now, Chicago, Damage style paintball. We were the first ones in the Snake. All but 3 points we played that event.
Damn.
How in the fuck am I not an aggressive team?
You're so scared, Joey. You don't ever take risks.
Exactly.
Bro.
Like it was a smart risk, right? That was a risk of that field that if you didn't get into the Snake and they did, you were fucked. So we had to risk that body. Everyone did, right? So that was the game, you know. And I think the only time we didn't go was in the finals against you guys, because you guys caught Keith once, you caught him a second time, and I said, okay, that's enough of that. Right. I'm not going to send him again.
I was dialed in on that shot in the finals.
Yeah.
It changes every match too, right? Like this is what I think teams don't get. And I realize this again from I've learned so much from one. I got to give just a huge thanks. One, PTG and the teams that I coach, teams that we play against when I coach, has taught me a tremendous amount about this game.
Yeah.
You see it differently when you do have that perspective. But it's like, okay, what might work against this team, it just doesn't work against another team. And you have to be so elastic, so flexible, so quick to be able to adjust. Yeah, you know what? Against this team, let's try to run the Snake. If they shoot us 2 times in a row, guess what? We're going the other way.
Not doing that again.
We're going the other way. Like, don't just keep going into their guns. And I see teams, they might fall behind points and like, oh, well, now we have to run. No, you don't. You need to win. You're not going to win by continuing to like do these desperation plays that don't work.
At that point, it's almost like maybe just change your guns, like try to double team somebody going here or there, right? And that's I agree. That's a big thing, especially in divisional stuff that they miss out on. They again, you're right. They think, oh, we have to go. It's like, no. That doesn't work. You've gotten chopped going to the Snake 3 points in a row now. Stop doing that, dummy. Like at this point, have that guy stay at home and just shoot back at home at least, right? And try to kill the guy that's been killing you. Because if you can do that, then you can launch. Like, I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to change the approach.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah, you could shoot 2 people on the break. That's going to be a quick point. You could do it all from like right off the start gate. Just dedicate a bunch of guns, like shoot a bunch of people.
That's almost a better plan than just running.
Totally.
All 5 guys 100%. Shoot your guns, right?
100%. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Dang, this World Cup was insane. There was, from what I understand, they posted 675 teams that participated. And it was, I think, the biggest World Cup of all time. And you could feel the buzz in the air in the game, you know?
It felt huge.
The paintball game is alive right now.
Yeah. It was pretty insane. I'm there first thing. Literally, I watch every single point. I beat Skinny there. Usually I'm there with Junior and Dan before Skinny shows up.
Why do you beat Skinny there? I mean, he watches every point. So why are you there so early?
Parking, bro.
Dude, parking at Cup this year was nuts.
Parking, like literally, if you don't get, because the pros started an hour later than the divisionals.
Yeah.
So if you don't get there, even for the VIP parking, if you don't get there early enough, you're still. I mean, there was one day there was no VIP parking left when I rolled up. I was like, "What in the shit? It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. How's there no VIP left?" So you know, I was like, and honestly, at the time change, I got kids. I have a real life. I'm a responsible adult, so I'm up at 6 a.m. anyways. You know, I'm not like Skinny where I live that life, right? I'm not on that life.
You know, it's so funny. Same thing. Our whole team likes to sleep in. When I'm at home, I wake up at 5:45. Heading into World Cup, for like 3 weeks, I would go to bed at like 9 because I knew that, you know, one, it's a 3-hour time change. So that's basically midnight, which isn't good enough.
Nope.
But I was good though at Cup. Still 5:45, 6 o'clock. I was awake every morning. I'd have my routine. I'd get to, you know, have breakfast and then get ready to watch film. It was fantastic. I relate with you, Joey.
Yeah.
Early bird gets the worm. That's what they say.
Yep. So get there first thing in the morning. I watch every single thing, but I mean, just standing up at those stands, looking out, like at the very top of them, looking out at the parking lot. Like, I mean, they've done pictures now where you can see how many cars were out there, but it's just like, holy shit, there's so many people, and there were still a bunch of people just getting dropped off on rideshare. So like that rideshare thing was constantly being flipped. I'm just like, man, this is an insane amount of people here. So, and honestly, talking to some of them, they're like, hey, we're the NXL people or the Major League Paintball people. We're like, we're running out of space here. Like, we might have to find something new soon just because we don't have enough room. So, I mean, we're in a good spot. Like, I think everything is trending up, you know, as long as the economy can stay stable-ish, we'll be okay.
Yeah, totally. It's a worry for sure.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I'm in the industry as well. You know, I'm one of the owners of Social Paintball. We do all the distributions of products and paint, and it's a big concern for everyone in the industry right now. Like, if the economy stays where it's at, we'll be fine. If the economy dips too much, we might see some massive cutbacks. Massive cutbacks.
It's a luxury sport. It's a big
100%.
extra expense. Yeah, people.
100%.
First thing they're going to cut out is stuff like this.
Yep.
Yeah.
We just got to make it through this presidential election and we'll be fine. Everybody, 2024 is going to be strong. Let's go.
Fingers crossed.
Whew. Who are you voting for, Ty? Just kidding. I won't put that on you.
What are you doing?
Whoever's going to make me the most amount of money. Right now, it's Governor DeSantis. He gave us.
Oh, of course, he loved DeSantis. He dropped out of the race, bro. What do you mean?
DeSantis? When?
Yeah, he dropped out of the race like a month ago.
No, DeSantis is still in it.
Yes, he did.
I bet you your championship belt.
Hold on.
I bet your championship belt.
Scratchers.
Yeah, $20. You owe me a $20 Gold Rush Limited. $20 Gold Rush Limited if you're wrong.
Yeah,
I'll give you one of a $20 Gold Rush Limited. That's the scratcher we're on right now. We're about.
Oh my God, yo, check this out.
About 165 deep on there.
Joey, check this out. A video of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis announcing that he is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race has been making its rounds on social media, but it's of course a deep fake AI video. Oh my God. Oh my God.
$20 scratcher.
Oh my God.
So the reason why I'm voting.
I mean, do we call that a wash? Is that a fair wash, or do I owe you?
No, you owe me.
What I owe you
for sure. A $20 Gold Rush Limited scratcher. You have to come to Florida to get it because they're only available in Florida.
I'm gonna write you down. I'm gonna write it down.
He'll have it. Don't worry.
So he gave me a tax credit for my kids going to school.
Fuck me, that's
$7,500 each.
I'm fucking blown away. Right
I have a politician that gave me $15,000 in tax credit for my kids to go to school. God damn it, he's done more than any other politician ever has. He's getting my vote. I don't really care what his stance are. He gave me $15,000.
Damn, son. Let's go.
Joey, I obviously can't buy that scratcher in Florida. So two things. I either Venmo you $20 or I buy you a $20 scratcher here.
$20 scratcher.
Okay, perfect.
But you need to check the prizes. Check the prizes. I don't want because there's a website they have. Oh, come on, you're an amateur, bro.
I am definitely an amateur, but I buy scratchers all the time.
You buy scratchers.
I don't know. I'm an amateur. I see you guys spending thousands of dollars on these things, losing every fucking time.
Calm down.
You guys have like a stack this big of Gold Rush scratchers, $30 each, and there's like no winners.
Let me explain.
Please do. We
invested $200 each after the first win.
Yeah,
that win created 156 losers, but we were able to extend that $600 to 156 losers. Plus, I still have 5 tickets in the bag that we're carrying.
How much are you up right now?
Oh, nothing. We're trying to win 5 million, not hundreds. We could have been up hundreds of dollars. But fuck that. I'm trying to win 5 million.
I'm going to connect you with my financial advisor. I think
it's something to do, bro.
Okay.
Something to do.
All right, Joey, I'm sending you. I'm choosing my own $20 scratcher to send you then.
Go to California's lotto site. They'll have a thing on there. Make sure you check the stats.
I'm just going to do it. I'm going to go to my 7-Eleven. It's right here. I get scratchers all the time. I win all the time. I'm actually in the green. I'm in the green.
Just have him send you the $20 so you can get what you want, Joey.
No, this is this is my ticket for sure. It's better. I'm sending you my ticket, and I got you, bro. And
all right,
look, if you win over $100,000, I just want 10%.
If I win $1,000, I'll give you 10%. If I win $100, I'll give you 10%.
Writing it down.
Generous.
Joey, I fucking got you, bro. I swear to God, I'm gonna get your address after this, and I'm gonna get you a dope $20 scratcher. That's crazy, though, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I saw that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I saw this morning.
The future is nuts.
I saw this morning when he has a 13% share and Trump has like a 60% share, and I'm like, wow, why are these people even running against them? Like, you have an 80% chance of failure. Like, whatever.
Right.
Yo, shout out one time to the deep fake future because it's coming.
It's brutal.
It's going to be insane.
It's brutal. Because I didn't see that video, actually. I got that from a reliable news source.
Yeah.
So the reliable news source saw that video.
Yeah. Was it TMZ?
Yeah.
TMZ is the only reliable news source at this point. And that is scary. That is so scary.
Yeah, it is scary, man. It is scary. It's wild, dude. Huh. In any case, that's
TMZ.
DeSantis. He doesn't have you been watching the debates?
A little bit.
Yeah, he's so bad in them. Like I appreciate his policy. Most of what he's done, I appreciate his policy. I could say that. But he's not good in debates. He's like, gets kind of flustered. He's like, oh man, he's just not himself. So I don't know that he's going to win the election based solely off that. It's like, that's
going to come down to Trump or Biden.
Yeah,
it's going to be Trump or Biden.
I agree.
There's really no choice in the matter.
Yeah, totally.
PTG. All right.
PTG. Sorry. Focus.
No. Play the game. That's what's going on worldwide. It's a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon.
Much bigger game.
Yeah. The Latin Saints have just been relegated. Obviously, PB Fit is coming in. There's some rumors that maybe some shakeup's going to happen with maybe a team selling. Do you have any crazy news or any scoops on anything?
I've heard there's like two or three teams that are looking to either sell or merge or create less funding issues.
That's right.
So I don't think the merge is going to happen like that. I think it might be something like maybe Blast Camp moves into one of these things, or maybe not Blast Camp, somebody of that nature, somebody who's a competitive team, merges with one of these other pro teams to try to offset, and maybe the ownership gets changed. But I don't know if it's going to be like the Saints buying a spot type year. I mean, it could happen, but I mean, if you look at it on paper, it would have to be one of the low funded bottom teams because it doesn't make sense for anyone else. I did hear some stuff, but I don't know if any of it's really accurate yet. And in a couple of weeks, it should all come to fruition. Yeah. But I mean, right now, there was some stuff about Austin Notorious possibly getting a new owner, which honestly, if you just look at the pattern of what's happening, right? They lose Mikhail Kovar, they lose
Anthony Bowles,
and then their coach quits, right? Like, it's a pretty significant loss over.
Ryan Gray.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Holy shit.
Of course you don't, because you're not really in the know like I am.
He just announced that. Yeah.
He announced it on his podcast that you probably didn't watch today. That was released at 10 a.m.
No, but I'm so glad they have a podcast. Him and Mike Bianca. I'm like fucking stoked about that.
Yeah, they're super dorks, so it'll be really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Coach's Corner. That's the Coach's Corner.
Amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn. So you watch that?
I watch everything, dude.
Do you watch all of our shows?
You can't be good at this if you don't watch everything.
Do you watch all of our shows?
That would be a part of everything.
Yeah.
You just said you can't be good at this. So one of the best coaches of all time, Hall of Famer, Joey Blute, coach of one of the best teams of all time and one of the best teams currently, just said you can't be the best if you don't watch everything. So if you guys are not listening to every Play the Game podcast, you're messing up.
Yeah, do it while you're doing your laundry. Put your earbuds in and just listen to it while you're doing your laundry. If you got a long drive, just pop it in. I mean, I try to pay attention because you never know. I mean, there's always snippets of information that people leak, and when they leak it,
man. Oh man, I pounce
on it. I pounce on all of it.
Dude, I love that about you, Joey. I really do. I totally agree. I resonate with that. Yeah, it's like things will get put out there, and I listen. I'm lurking. I'm listening when people post little clips from practice when there's like a layout. It's so funny. I remember 2020. This is just a small example that comes to mind. 2020, Las Vegas Open. Do you remember that snake? It was like the ladder snake, but it had that inside highway.
Yes.
Okay. I remember someone from Infamous posted a practice clip of them, and it was like 3 points in a row where Thomas Taylor went into the snake. And if the other team was in the snake, it was like without hesitation, he would just crawl inside and he wouldn't check anything off. He would crawl all the way to the other side and try to bunker the guy.
Yep.
It was literally like every time that was his thing. And it was online before the tournament. It was online. We played Infamous. Yeah. We played Infamous. And I remember I got into Snake 1 and I remember seeing Thomas Taylor in their Snake 1. And I literally counted. I go 1, 2, 3. And I came out on the inside where that highway is. And he was like 4 feet in front of me crawling down and I just blew his face off. And I know Thomas listens to the show too. Shout out to the OG, one of the best to ever do it. But I had the scouting report.
Yeah.
And it was given because I cared to pay attention.
Yep. And it's not hard.
That's all it is. It's not hard.
$1.
That's the only reason. And we won that point, and it was a pivotal point in the match too. If you go back, I remember it was like a pivotal point in the match where it was tied up or something close at the end of the match. But it was because of the scouting report.
That's that 0.25% bullshit we were talking about off the field stuff. Like it's literally that kind of stuff, I mean, and if you're not paying attention to that, obviously for some of the divisional stuff, it's a little bit harder because not everyone's out there filming stuff. Right. But you can still get that. I mean, honestly, on a Thursday at a normal event, we stopped practicing.
Also, your competition, like Marcelo just said, is posting what they're doing on the field on their Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hey, Ronnie likes to go here and shoot that way. Cool. Yeah. What's funny is now after this episode, everyone's going to start posting deep fakes.
No more. Facts. Deep fakes times in a row. Don't believe
Damn, Rainey's going to the 50 Dorito.
Right. Yep. I'm gonna have him at the 50 Dorito for sure. I'll put Keith over there with him.
That's how it works.
Deep fakes. I love
the deep fake future. It's upon us.
It's upon us, man. Holy moly.
Well, Joey, dude, it's
Yeah.
great to have you here. Let's dive into World Cup. I mean, we just
Yes.
came out of the biggest tournament of the year, Houston Heat. We obviously underperformed dramatically. It was gut wrenching and not something that I'm soon gonna forget for sure. Damage, you guys looked absolutely amazing. Obviously, Dynasty won the World Cup, looked great. Talk to us about. Let's just dive into. Obviously, we saw the prelims. Everybody saw that. Let's just dive into Sunday. That match that was the first one with Revo.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's dive into that.
So we go out there. We've watched and scouted them. Like it wasn't like there was anything special they were doing. Like it was literally their personnel. We knew exactly what they were going to do. I don't know. I think I almost don't like playing that buy thing. Now that I've done the buy and not done the buy, I almost don't like the buy. It's not so much that it gives you a false sense or anything like that, but to me, it's like the way events normally build. Like you build it up till Sunday, right? So like you're progressively getting better the whole time. When you're doing a buy round type stuff, I mean, I knew for a fact when we played Dynasty, it wasn't their A plans, their A game. Mostly because I saw Marcelo not play a point or two, which is not something that's going to happen on Sunday, right? When you start seeing the lines rotate and the people change, you kind of like start watching and you think, okay, so are we really playing this good, or is it because it's a buy thing, right? Where when you have to fight your way in, like I promise you,
right. Yeah.
They're giving you everything. There's no question. If you're doing it right. If you're winning at that, you're doing it right because they are fighting for their life, same as you are. So I don't know if I necessarily love the buy thing. I do like the fact that it was less, so the guys were fresher, so on and so forth. But I don't know. And this is no disrespect to Revo. Like they've had a fairly decent year. Like they started really like shit, but then they finished those last two events with upsets. So they upsetted Impact twice. They upsetted us. So like they're playing significantly better. But for us, it's always been an issue of getting the guys up to teams that we would consider not on our level. And this is not meant in a disrespectful way, but they haven't done shit as far as winning, right? So when we play Heat, when we play X Factor, when we play Dynasty, when we play Impact, when we play the guys who are the contenders to win, the guys get up, right? They're there for it. They're ready for it. Whereas the guys that we're supposed to beat, we always tend to play a little bit off. And it's a hard thing to shake for somebody, right? Like it's just the way it is. So I've been working on it and we've been getting better at it, but it's still one of our weaknesses. And we went out there and we just didn't play good. Like that's the truth. Guys were getting shot out uncharacteristically, like, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I should rotate through the line. But then the next point, those guys go out and shoot two dudes. I'm like, well, it doesn't make a lot of sense to sit that motherfucker. He's killing people now. Right. So it's kind of hard to pull the trigger on sitting somebody who helped win the last two events when they're shooting two people, even if they had a bad point before that. We go out there with that minute and 21 seconds left. And I tell him before the point, I'm like, listen, we're going to take a bite. We're going to send Chad to the corner, the Dorito corner, which that is a bite on that field at that point.
Totally.
Yeah. And then everyone else was doing the same pocket shit that everyone else was doing. And I was like, look, Chad, if you make that corner with a minute and 21 seconds, if we get a body, let's go to work. If we don't, let's just lock this shit down. Jake makes a move up into that tower on the Dorito side, which I didn't love. I understand it. He's trying to win the point. Cool. He gets shot, whatever. 5-on-4 us. We're still in good spots. Rainey's sitting on the lane between the 100 and 200 at that box.
Real quick, 5-on-4 them, you mean, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Which I'm still okay with. We were still in good spots.
Yeah, totally. If you're in that outside Dorito being down bodies, you're fucking good.
Right. And I'm like, cool. As long as Chad's in that corner sitting on the cross, Keith in the can sitting on the cross, we're not going to lose this point.
Yeah.
Right. They'd have to literally cheat their balls off to do that. But Rainey is sitting on the gap between the Dorito 1 and the Dorito 2. And then Omara gets loose in the middle, was able to get a shot off on him, which hindsight being 2020, Rainey should have rolled off. Like, let him have it. Who cares? Let him go to the second Dorito. He can't kill you from there. And you could still lock shit down. You could still hold stuff up. Time was ticking. Rainey gets clipped. They start their push. Chad just launches, which, hindsight being 2020 on that, if Chad gets into the 50 Dorito mess and shoots two guys, then he's a hero. Hindsight being 2020, he should have sat in the fucking corner, ran the last 3 seconds out, shot the shit out of those guys coming up the middle, and we would have played an overtime point 5-on-5. And who knows what would have happened. But I'm not even going to put it all on that point. We shouldn't have lost the other 2 points.
Right.
And that's what I've been harping on these guys since I came back. It's like, okay, so the one you lose the event, the match, the whatever on, that sucks, but it is what it is. It's the shit before that. Like, how can we fix that?
Yeah.
Like, that's what you can control. If a ref makes a bad call, so what? Did you lose any other points? If that's the only point you lost, then yes, blame the ref. But if you lost other points besides that point, it's not the ref's fault. We shouldn't have fucking lost the other points.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that one, it just wasn't meant to be, man. Like, we had a bad match, and it was a 1-point match, but it was still a bad match for us. Like, it was not damage paintball. It was a bunch of guys out there just running around, and shit happens. You guys know, like, you've been here. 2 in a row is hard. 3 in a row is really fucking hard, especially when the third one's World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it is what it is. We have to be better. And that's what I told the guys afterwards. We have to.
It's interesting. It's one thing. And Rainey's a gambler, right?
Absolutely.
So I love having these conversations with Rainey. But it's like when you're at a blackjack table, like, you got to know when to walk away and when not to. But I relate it to when I saw you guys won 2 in a row heading into Cup. I was like, oh, that's good. That's good. Hard to win 3 in a row. Like, it's just hard.
Yep.
It's hard. It's better to be on the other end of it, where maybe you won early and now you're on a down slope and you're fighting that way back up. There's like a little something to that.
Yep.
And it's what I told our divisional team as well. My divisional team Wrecking Crew, they won World Cup and the series and the whole thing in Division 2, but they struggled. They won early. They won Texas, and then they were on a bit of a struggle heading into Cup. And I was like, this is great. This is where we want to be. This is perfect. Yeah. We're in striking distance. We're right there. We're hungry. We have everything that you need to have to go and win World Cup. The team that's like on top, you're kind of up there, and you don't really realize what's below you. You know, it's an interesting thing. It really is. And I felt that way about you guys. I truly did heading into the event. I was like, they're playing great, but 2 in a row, that's something. It's hard to win 3 in a row. It just is.
I'm with you. And I had the same mindset, which is why I was trying to, and honestly, I think if we would have been in the harder bracket where we had to fight our way through, I think it would have been a totally different outcome. But by having the buy round thing, I don't like that.
I don't know, dude. So I do like it. I think it's more valuable. My take on it, and I see both sides. I'm not saying that my perspective is more correct than yours, but my perspective of it that I believe in is you're playing the top teams. You might not be getting their best plays. You might not be getting, but you're still getting elite level talent that's going to press you in certain areas of the field that you don't see in the prelims when you're playing some of the lower tier teams. And it's with no expense, like, you're not going to get knocked out. So you get to see certain things. And if you're really wise in how you process that information, I think it's an incredible advantage. And also at this World Cup in particular, I know you guys are from Florida, you swamp people. It was humid as fuck. I was dying.
Nah.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Oh, it was nice. You guys are crazy. I'm not going to lie. I was sweating my balls off. I was so dehydrated.
From your damn hair, dude.
No matter what I did, I could not stay hydrated. So the one last game, I was like, oh, thank God. Thank the Lord. Because it's funny. I wasn't ever exhausted as far as like my cardio. My muscles weren't tired. I was just sweating so much that I couldn't keep enough liquids in. And it was just the humidity. So like, even being at the field, not doing anything, I'm just sweating. I was like, oh my God, this is so humid. That's like always my thing is my muscles, my body isn't tired. I'm not exhausted. It's not a oxygen thing. It's literally just liquid leaving my body and going in. So
I'm telling you, cut that hair. Cut the hair a million times.
Yeah, it's been the same.
A million times. Tell him, Ty.
But maybe I'll lose the powers. I don't know.
Short hair don't care.
The hair's been elite. It's got a good record. But no,
so what's your thoughts on that, Ty? What's your thoughts on the buy?
On the buy, yeah. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I do appreciate the fact that you get to see the best talent in the world. I also agree that I don't like how in certain mind frames it's like held as a practice, because to me there's no practice. It's like that's a mindset though. That's how you approach it. That's not the format. That's how you approach it. Totally. Yeah. And for me,
it's how the other people approach it too, though. Like, because personnel wise, like I'm telling you, Dynasty played personnel they wouldn't have played if they played us on a match that mattered. If that match
you're definitely going to see different play style than you would in a traditional tournament. Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. but you're still going to see like the best of those players. Like no matter what, again, at this level, if you're in the top 4, right, that means all season long you've been the top 4. That means you have some of the best players in the world. Those motherfuckers are competitive. So if they're on the field, they're still trying to win. It doesn't matter. They're still giving you shots and looks and things that are like, you're not going to see if you're playing the bottom 5 teams. You're just not going to see it.
Yeah.
So to me, I look at it and I say it's a huge advantage. If you approach it with the right lens and you approach it, because same thing, Wrecking Crew, my divisional team, they're like, is this a good thing we have this buy? I don't like it. You know, like it seems like, you know, should we show our cards the first hand? I'm like, look, show your cards. Don't show everything, but show your cards. And then guess what? If you show your cards and it works and you beat the team, because they're like, it's so hard to beat the same team twice. I don't agree with that. I actually think that if you beat a team, you have the advantage, because now if you're smart enough, they're going to try to adjust to what you did. You have the upper hand. That means they're going to play exactly into what you want them to play into. So look, if you're the better team and the smarter team, it's all to your advantage, in my opinion. That's really what I believe about it. And so I love the buy. I want to take that every single year. I want to be in that first round. I want to see the best teams and the best players. And it's like a sparring, right? You're not actually fighting, but you're sparring. So you're getting a feel for things, of how things are going to work on the field. And if you could process that information correctly, man, I do think it's a big advantage. I could be wrong, but that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, and there was us, obviously, sitting here, and the Tauntauns, who got that bye.
Dude,
all the
they
way
played amazing, too.
To the top 8, and they made the top 4 and had a hell of a game and almost made it into the finals. You know what I mean? So really amazing story there with the Tauntauns.
Incredible.
Yeah, that was our hardest game in the prelims by far. We had to come back on them and beat them in overtime. Like, that was a hard game.
I did not think they were going to do that well.
I figured with Axel there, I figured they would be solid. I didn't know they would do as well in the prelim part, but I did think that they could make some waves depending on who they pulled that first round.
Totally agree. I knew Axel was going to give them a big boost. Axel's hugely underrated. He is one of the best players.
He's like a Brian Smith underrated, though. Like, he's not only underrated by the people that don't know.
Everybody in the pros knows.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I think he's more underrated by the pros, though, than Brian Smith. Nobody in the pro ranks underrates Brian Smith at this time. Maybe Brian Smith like 10 years ago. Axel's like getting there with the U.S. pros. Maybe I'm
I don't know.
wrong,
I think him playing with Impact, I think, helped a lot as far as making people respect what he is and who he is. Obviously, him playing with the Tauntauns, almost none of us see him. But doing that part of it, I think the last 2 years with those guys, we've all seen him now, and I don't think anyone worth a shit thought he wasn't great.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, he's absolutely great, and the organization is great. Clearly, to be able to come into World Cup, into our territory against all of the best teams in the world and perform like that, I mean, it really was incredible. I mean, they were so close to the finals. It was right there.
Yeah.
You know, like fucking one kill away from
I think all the European teams outperformed what I thought they would.
Totally.
This batch
good for paintball.
Significantly better than last year's set of Europeans.
Yeah.
Significantly better.
Good for paintball.
Yep.
Totally. Lucky 15s, badasses. Joy, they lost most of their games, but they were in them. They were in them. Yeah.
I could see that Magnus guy or the whatever his name, Samuelson, the one who snake guy with
Samuelson.
The little man bun.
Yeah,
I could see him finding a US team next year. He's solid.
He's good. Yeah, he's
solid.
dope. He's dope.
And snake guys are hard to find, hence Axel getting on a team.
Totally.
Yeah, here's a hot take. Osborne for this from the PTG Discord. He says, let's theorize how Cup would have been if Axel had played with Impact and not the Tauntauns.
I would have bunkered him in the finals instead of the semifinals.
I don't know if they would have made the finals because the way they played was based off of not having Axel. Axel's totally. So you gotta remember, you put a 700 horsepower engine in a fucking a Honda frame. There's a good chance you're gonna break something, right? Like that kid is so opposite of anything they had in the Snake. Like I don't know I don't know if they would have done as well, quite honestly. I think Impact did as well because they had the right mix of players being used in the right space at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joey fucking gets it, man.
Absolutely.
That is so true. It's like you can't just plug and play. You see it in other sports. Like, look at James Harden going to the Clippers. I don't know if people follow basketball, but it's like every team James Harden has gone to, this super team at the Nets, the super team here or there, trash. Great players individually, doesn't work together.
Yep.
You need a team to win.
Yep.
Roles need to be different. You
Yep.
can't have all of the same type of people.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Zupa played fucking phenomenal this week.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he did.
Absolutely.
Zupa played phenomenal, and he fit exactly into the brand they were trying to
That's
play.
what it is more than anything.
Yeah,
I think Axel played phenomenal on the Tauntauns. I think he played decent when he was with Impact. He was a difference maker, but he wasn't going to win them the tournament. He could have won Tauntauns the tournament. I think Zupa played the role on that team at this event better than Axel did all year long with them.
Totally.
Because I love hearing different
some players. Yeah, for sure.
And Impact played the center of the field extremely well. They pressed into the middle really well. And we all know on this particular layout, the center was a huge catalyst for movement in a lot of different areas. If you couldn't get wide, you had to punch the middle. Yep. Or if you could maybe get to the Doritos, it would open up something where you can start to connect with that middle player. And then we saw a lot of late snake fills, or maybe if they chanced it off the break and they made it, they would get in there. But it was a difficult snake side to get out on with all those channels of paint. So the middle was really important, and Impact played that really well.
Agreed. Yeah. I think they were a solid team. Mm-hmm. I think this is the best team play they've had all year. And that's why they went as far as they did. Because let's be honest, you're not winning one of these paintball events anymore if your team is not clicking. It can't be. Right. It's not like it used to be back in the day when a Chris Lasoya or a Roque could carry a team. Like,
totally.
It has to be.
One player won't do it.
No, it has to be start to finish. And that's why like an AC struggled so hard this year. Like, they plugged a bunch of quality pros on that squad, but you can't just throw it all together and say this is going to work. Like, it takes time. The best analogy I can give in paintball, you can have the best meat in the world and the best vegetables in the world, but if the chef doesn't know how to cook it, it's going to taste like shit. Right? Which is why you have to have a good coach. You have to have it has to be a top-down build, in my opinion. When you build from the bottom up, aka the players up, I don't feel like those teams are ever going to be super successful, because that's not how it works, right? Like, you could have the Clippers when they were on top of the world, and if they didn't have a good coach, that team would suck.
Hold on, the Clippers were never on top of the world.
Not the Clippers. I'm sorry, I was thinking of Golden State. Sorry,
okay,
I gotta make sure Steph Curry and his crew when they had Durant and everyone else. Like, honestly, without Kerr there, that team's not the same team.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So, and is he the best coach? Probably not. He was the best coach for that team.
Yes, totally. 100%.
Okay, let's get the hot take on AC So what's going to happen moving into 2024? Is the team sticking together? Are they falling apart? What's going on?
I think it's going to depend on the money. Like, if the dudes need money and Mark's willing to pay them, they'll probably stay, because I don't think anyone else is going to be dumping the kind of cash that those guys want. Like, we're close to a recession at this point.
Yeah. Do you think that market got kind of burnt because they had such little success?
Yeah. Partially that, and partially anybody who has a lot of money at this point is looking at the economy going, how much do I really want to spend on this great sport hobby that I'm doing? Because it's not like any other sports where you can invest in it and eventually get some money out of it. If you're investing in paintball, it's because you love paintball, not because you want to make money at paintball.
Right.
So it's really just going to depend on that. And I think a lot of the other pros that spend money are going, let's slow down a little here, boys. Things got a little out of control. That's from my management standpoint, where I'm telling you that's part of what's going to happen this offseason. I don't think you're going to see the gigantic contracts this year. I think you're going to see everyone pull back a little bit, and it's going to be a little correction on the way money is being spent in teams, where you'd rather spend a little bit less money and get somebody like a Weaver off a Revo, or so the top tier teams that have money and want to spend are going to go for the guys that are close to being there, not quite there, rather than spending a butt ton of money on obviously projects that don't necessarily work.
Yeah, we actually broke some news on that, I think a few weeks ago or a month ago, in regards to that, right, Marcelo? With these teams, we're going to see as we move into the 2024 season what's going to happen here within the next 30 days. things are going to start.
See what the first domino is. I mean, I've heard some stuff. I heard the Ironmen are making a play on a couple guys.
Legitimate plays?
Guys that'll keep them out of relegation.
Well, that doesn't mean much.
But no, it does. It does. If you're number 19 right now, it sure as fuck means a lot if you're not going to be number 19 anymore.
What what kind of guys are going to keep them out of relegation that would be willing to go just to keep them out of relegation? You know what I mean?
Not. They're going for money.
Yeah, I heard Marcelo Margot was going.
Yeah. They're going for money, and they're going to hope that they're the start of the rebuild of that team. Because honestly, I would say if I look at the Ironman's roster right now and I look at the way they sit, it's not that they're bad players. It's that they don't have the right players. Like they have players that know how to play and that are good, but you don't have the right mix of guys. It's like we talked about with Axel on Impact.
Right.
Like, was he an asset to him? Of course he was. Was he a good fit for them? I personally don't think he was a good fit for them. I think his style of play didn't match their style of play. So with that being said, I think a lot of the guys in the Ironman currently, at first I think they need to figure out what their style of play is, but they have such a hodgepodge bowl of different stuff that there's no real cohesiveness to it. There's no real, like, are we an aggressive team or are we a sit back team? You put three of the big guys, slow guys back there, and then you put two fast guys. That's not really a good fit, right? Like, okay, so you got three guys that aren't going to really go real far, real fast, and two guys that are going to go sprinting down the field. Like, this isn't 2006. That shit don't work.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do a bunch of slow guys, right? But everyone needs to go nice and slow and in control and have that pace, right? Where they didn't really have that. They were like streaking down the Dorito side and still having guys at the other four back spots. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like, no, it doesn't make sense. So
the teams have to buy into the philosophy as a cohesive unit. If everyone is not completely bought in and genuinely bought into the vision of how we're going to approach the field, how we're going to navigate, if all five players, when they step into that arena, are not bought in, you are going to have problems when that horn blows and the game starts to commence. And, it's such an important thing to have that philosophy, like we talk about, and the best coaches in the world, the Todds, the Joeys, the Skinnies, that is really the cornerstone of success.
Yep. Putting your aces in their places.
That's right.
Put your aces in their places.
You know where I learned that? 16 years old working at Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Explain that.
I was working at Taco Bell, and one of the shift managers, you got to put the aces in the places. Because, I was an overachiever there, too, because I'm an overachiever everywhere.
Hell yeah.
What do you mean?
I mean, dude, have you ever been to Taco Bell?
Yeah, it's my girlfriend's favorite restaurant of all time.
So when you go to Taco Bell and they're super slow and shitty?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no aces in places there. See, I was an ace that was in the right place. So I got all the hours I wanted. I got to do whatever I wanted because I did my shit. But when we'd have lunch rushes, he would be like, yo, get out of there, put the aces in the places. And it's like anything, dude. You just grab stuff and you bite it and you just run with it forever because it makes sense, right? Like, that's a good one, but it's one that for life it fits.
I like that. What's your favorite meal from Taco Bell?
It used to be the Mexican melts, dog. I don't make them
bro.
Anymore,
the Mexican pizza used to be my favorite of all time. The Mexican pizza was so elite.
Have you ever looked at the fucking the health benefits of a Mexican pizza?
Holy shit. I didn't care about that. I was benefiting mentally. You were. I was happy.
It was releasing all kinds of shit in your brain.
The cheesy gordita crunch. That's a hitter too.
Those are fire.
Yeah. Those are cheesy gordita.
Man.
But yeah, no. So like the Ironman, I heard that they're making a play for a couple guys, and if they get the right guys and mix them with some of the pieces they have now, I think that they could be, middle pack, slightly below middle pack, which is significantly better than 19th place, right? Like you're not going to go from 19th place to first place overnight. That's not going to happen. Like you can't even spend enough money to make that happen.
Of course.
So, I hear they're making a play for a couple guys, which makes sense. They have to. If they don't make a play now and fit comes up and they don't do anything.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? That'd be terrible.
So, and if some of these buyouts happen that possibly could, if Notorious or, any of these other teams that are in the potential, I'm not going to be around next year, get bought out by people with a little bit of money, who knows, and then how much do they want to spend, right? Do they want to take their current rosters and try to build from there? Do they want to try to build their own team? So, it's all a little bit up in the air right now. It's just so early, right? The first domino needs to fall, right? As soon as Tyler and Marcelo say they're coming to Damage, that'll be when the first domino falls. And when that domino falls,
what are we getting paid, Joey?
Scratchers.
How fucking many? Because we learned the odds on them before. So if I deal with the math right, I need 1 million scratchers to have about $5,000. So how many scratchers do I get?
We got to go to Mexico to get those, dog. I can't get you 1 million scratchers here in the U.S. for that. That's a lot of money.
That's a big bag of scratchers.
Bag of scratchers.
Yeah, what's the bag? What are we talking about here?
Bag of scratchers. No, I mean, honestly, the first domino that falls, the first meaningful thing that happens, which, who knows if the AC thing doesn't work out, there's some studs there, right? Like,
would you guys pick up Mouse, Kyle, or J-Rab?
I would 100% take Mouse.
Who wouldn't take Mouse?
Facts. Anybody that says they wouldn't take Mouse is lying, because
100%.
Mouse is elite level. Same reason why I would take you or Tyler. I mean, there's a reason why I text and call the three of you. It used to be 4 when Rainey was available every year. Like, and it's not because I'm being disrespectful to the teams you're on. I respect the teams you're on. I respect you being on the teams you're on. I respect you when you tell me no. Like, I respect all of that. But as my job as a manager and a coach is to make sure you know that if you're ever going to make a move, I'm here. I'll give you a parachute. Let's land nicely together. Like that's my job, right? Like, if I don't approach you, I'm a bad manager.
Fair. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, so that's the truth, right? Like, if you can get a difference maker, if you can get a LeBron James, if you can get a Patrick Mahomes, like, you're going to go after those players. Like, you're an idiot if you don't. So without a doubt, like, I would always entertain the opportunity to grab any of the three of you. So, but I mean, yeah, definitely. I could see Mouse, if he decides to go, he can write his ticket anywhere. And I'm sure the three of us sitting here would all love the opportunity to have Mouse on our roster.
He's a complete dog. Yeah. He's an animal out there.
I mean, honestly, we would all love the opportunity to get him just so the other ones don't get him.
Yeah, that's the thing too. That's the thing too. I see these teams play those games all the time. Impact did it with Dalton.
Oh yeah, that was
Impact did it. Not Dalton's one of the best ever, but they were like, you know what? We're just gonna shoot the moon. We're gonna combine 2 contracts into one to make sure that one team can't have them. And I loved it. Good for Dalton. And he did a lot for that team in this last season. Yep.
I don't disagree. Disagree. And I mean, I honestly, like, I would love it if we were able to get enough money in paintball that those of us that are elite at what we do could get paid our worth. I would love it more than anything. Like, I tell everyone, like, if I was as good at coaching paintball in any other industry or any other sport in the world, I would be making 6 figures easy. I could be a damn bowling coach and make 6 figures at the level I'm coaching paintball.
It's crazy. We do it because we love it.
Fact. I mean, I'm not ever going anywhere, right? Like, this is
totally.
Right? But it's just still like, I would, in a heartbeat. I would love the opportunity to be a general manager of a paintball team and go to Marcel and be like, okay, so we're going to do a 7-year, $12 million contract.
I like the way that sounds. It sounds good.
Right.
We're getting somewhere, Joey. Wait, should I write that down? Actually, it seems like a formal offer.
Oh, so it's going to happen if I get that lotto ticket and I can hit 20 million on it.
Perfect. 20 million after taxes. Yeah, it could work. It could work.
California taxes too. I'm fucked on this.
Yeah, it could work.
I mean, I would love the opportunity to do something like that, but it is what it is. Like, at this point, am I looking at Damage to do anything? If it's not something that's a massive difference maker, I mean, I won 2 of the 5 events this year. I was second at 1. I had 1 shitty event and one that I just dropped. We dropped the bag, right? Like, we 100% screwed ourselves a cup. Nothing, Revo played good. They beat us 100%, not taking anything away from them. But if we played to our potential, I see us in Dynasty in the finals. And that's what I wanted more than anything. Every time we won an event, Marcelo would text me congrats and I would text them back, not until we beat you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair. And to be honest, it was a little bit of everyone deserved to get us in the finals in that one. And no offense, Ty, to your team or that season, but like, fuck, it was we won 2, you guys won 2. And it was, we hadn't met up. Yep. We hadn't met up on Sunday, Yep. So from a competitor's standpoint, that was what was supposed to happen. But you guys fucking dropped the goddamn ball to Revo, and I'm not complaining about it too much.
Honestly, I was hoping you guys wouldn't have dropped the ball in Chicago or Philly, but you guys dropped the ball at those 2. So
I like to save it up for the most important one of the year,
Apparently. Apparently.
There's something about World Cup. It's like, dude, man, I don't know, but World Cup, when I land in Orlando, I feel like I'm at home. It's special. I sit there on that tram as you get off the plane and you board the tram to baggage claim, and you see like the beautiful sunset. Usually when you're flying from the West Coast to the East Coast, it's usually around that time. And there's just something about it, dude, that every single year it gives me butterflies. It makes me kind of sick. Like, seriously, I get kind of sick. I sit there and I'm like, there's something in me that is like just so full of emotion, because the very first World Cup I ever went to was 2005 with Aftermath. We were Division III. We won. So Orlando has always been something that I just love to. I love it. I love it. I think until they change the location of World Cup, I feel like World Cup is a home field advantage for me personally. I don't know how anyone else on my team feels, but it's like,
well, I can tell you for sure. Tyler and myself will do everything we can to make it the biggest fucking nightmare you've ever had next year.
You guys do every year. Again, I got a little lucky this year with a lot of stuff. But it's just, I don't know. I guess it's home is where the heart is.
Yeah. The both of us, Damage and Heat, both in the running. If you don't win that thing, then we have a shot at the series and the cup as well. So it's just, and by God, history has been made. I mean, Dynasty has won World Cup 4 times in a row. It's never been done before. Am I correct? And, that kind of stuff is just pretty profound. So we definitely are going to do everything in our fucking power to make it next year as difficult as possible on you. Yeah. So bravo for now. Good luck in the future, bud. We're coming, man. Come on.
You better be hitting that gym hard. I better be seeing a lot of posts about you sweating and stuff. Getting used to it.
I've been trying to. Listen. You know what's great is that
listen.
No, you listen.
You listen here, you son of a bitch.
I'll listen. What do you have to say?
I already did. You're gonna get it next year.
You got it.
Just wait. Let's wait.
But I thought you were sending me the $1 million check, and I was coming to.
I changed my mind. I'm gonna pick Tyler up instead and Mouse. I'm gonna get Tyler and Mouse instead, and then we're
perfect.
I'm gonna take Skinny Kevin. I'm gonna take Skinny Kevin from you guys as well. Actually, honestly, if I wanted to fuck you guys up, I would just pay Skinny Kevin a shit ton of money and then let you and Ryan destroy the team. You're laughing, but Tyler, am I right? Am I right?
Two things.
It would get wild.
Two things. Skinny's not in it for the money. Skinny is in it because he loves me. I know that personally. Maybe not so much Ryan. Understandable. 3 things. If we lost Skinny and it was up to me and Ryan to run the team, it would be fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
A lot of disagreements there. Yeah. A lot of disagreements.
Yeah. And no one to say, shut up. This is what we're doing.
Yeah. A lot of disagreements.
What is
it? But somehow I think we'd find a way.
Speak on Skinny Kevin's behalf. What's it like, having him at the helm as a coach?
Yeah.
And coaching that group of players.
Well, I can't imagine what it's like to be Skinny Kevin. I've thought about it many times because I coach now, and I coach with one rule, and it's I'm the boss. So your input does matter, but at the end of the day, when I say what we're going to do, that's what we're going to do. So the way I coach my teams in divisional, I want to hear input because I think it's important, and the way the players feel comfortable in what they're doing, it's all valuable. I need to know that. Because I might think something is right, but guess what? It might not be what's right for that player. So I need to be flexible in how I'm creating our game plans based around my players. But at the end of the day, still, like, I'm the boss and everyone buys in. Skinny, I can't imagine how he does it because we all are so opinionated and we all have so much input on what should happen. And I know that I could not be able to coach if there were so many voices. It's even when I was coaching the Team USA U19's kids in France, we were in one of the matches and I had Ryan and Kyle Berry giving input, right? Like we're in the middle of a match against like Poland or something. And they were coming through the middle and I'm like, we were 3-0. It was the last game, didn't matter. It was still prelims. I knew we were going to see one of the teams in the finals and I'm trying to experiment with certain things. I'm doing things to prepare ourselves for the finals. And they're in my ear about like, they're doing this, you need to do that. And I just lost it on them. I go, if you're not the coach of this team, get the F out of the pits. Like one voice, not saying you're wrong, but having the conflicting voices is a big issue.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how Skinny does it, because it's so impressive to be able to merge.
I can tell you a little bit, because I have a lot of that too. So it's not so much that it's the big personality alpha people, right? That's what the winning teams are. You have to have alphas, right? So Skinny does a lot like what I do, which is he listens to everyone,
right?
He takes the important parts of it and absorbs it, and then he just flushes the rest down the toilet of his brain because it's not important. And a lot of the shit that he said, that people say, is not, and this is just real. A lot of it's not really that important.
Yeah.
Or we already know, right? And I get that a lot too. Like somebody will tell me something, like, yeah, no shit. Like I fucking figured that out when we walked the field the first time. Like I don't need you to tell me that, but I'm going to let you tell me that because it makes you feel good about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the coach management aspect that Skinny is really good at. Like I had him on Damage as a coach once. I know he's really good at that, where he listens to everyone and makes you feel like he cares, when in fact he's probably flushed 80% of what you said down because he already fucking knew. And he's just taking the 20% you give him, the 20% everyone else gives him, and then just regurgitating and spitting it back out. And as long as you're winning and it works, everyone's like, oh man, Skinny listens to all of us. Yeah, he kind of does. But it's also an art, right? To be able to make
that's an art. It's
for
sure.
Fucked up as it sounds, it's manipulation, right? Like you manipulate the situation with your players to make them think that what they're saying is the most valuable shit in the world, when in fact most of it like we are watching this. I watch more paintball than damn near anyone else in paintball. I watch I mean, you might be one of the few people that can catch up to me, or you guys might be able to stay on the level with me, but I watch a lot of paintball. To the point where there's very, very few things that you can say to me that I was like, oh, wow, I didn't see that. Like, so don't get me wrong. Your input is still needed because you're on the field and I'm not. So I need to hear what you have to say, but I don't need to necessarily hear it from everybody, but I have to listen to everybody.
Totally. It's
the game. It's a balance.
That's right. Yeah. And like you said, it's super important to get all the information, collect it, look at it, have a good perspective on it, and then approach the game how you got to approach it.
Right. And make the players feel like their input was super needed and super valuable, because it's all about managing the mindset, right? Like,
but I think it's a tough thing though. I think you know why it is? Because look, I got to say, and I got to imagine it was like this with Tom Brady. I got to imagine it was like this with Kobe or Jordan. No offense to the coaches, but there is no possible way that the coaches know more about the game than the absolute best player in the game. I can't buy into that. I'm sorry. I can't buy into that. So a coach has to be flexible in knowing, and that's what it is the coach is like, the coach is like stupid. A therapist. Yes. He's a student. He's a therapist, personality manager among the team,
manipulator.
Manipulator,
massive manipulator.
Like look, I need to find a way to make I need to find a way to make these two work together.
Right.
It's an art. It's a tough art.
I need to find a way to make you think this is your idea.
Totally.
Like I need to make you tell me you want to go to Snake on the Break. That's what I need to do. So when you go to Snake on the Break at practice and I tell you, man, that was awesome. You shot 6 guys. You're the man.
Right.
Suck him off, make him happy, right? That way when we get to the event, I'm like, yo, remember that practice Snake on the Break? You're like, yeah, run it, dog. I'm
time to go.
You're like, let's go. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So but I think it's not that I know more than the players, because I don't. But I know the right players to talk to. I know the ones that are going to give me the advice or the information that's vital for me to know. And I listen to everybody, but the vital information is what I'm looking for. I'm not necessarily looking for the small details, because no matter what the small details are, you're going to have to execute those on your own. It's not about the fine details. It's about the broad stroke. Because at our level, with our guys and your guys and Tyler's guys, they know how to do the fine strokes. Mm-hmm. My job as a coach is to give you the broad stroke. Because honestly, after the initial break, what else am I giving you? I put the right personnel out there. That's on me. And I give you the broad stroke. After that, you have to perform. Mm-hmm. Because what happens on the break is always different. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no, oh, if this and if that and if this. You as a player have to know that. Me coaching you in that, I mean, I do coach you at that, and I show you that. We go over it together. We go over all the little small details so everyone knows all the small details, but you have to go out and execute as a player. So for Skinny, it's don't get me wrong. There's very few people can do at this level what Skinny does. Very few people. There's very few people in paintball that can do, period.
100%. Skinny's the man. Like I see the way he mentally does these mental gymnastics with the team to be able to, and that was my point, is that like with our team in particular, I don't know how every other team is, I can't say.
Super alphas.
With
You're
our
winning
team,
super
I'm
alphas.
like, damn. Like,
Ty, how many
like,
alphas do you guys have?
How just stacked up with alphas. Just
if you're a winning team and you can win at this level and you're not an alpha, you're not on that team.
It's a different thing. It's a different thing. It's a totally different thing.
Right.
And that's why I'm like, divisionally, I love it. So I'm like, no, I could tell you with certainty X, Y, and Z, A, B, and C. This is what we're doing, and just nobody question it. But if I had 5, 10 of the top players in the world and they're giving me feedback, I'm like, now I'm questioning myself too. And it's an interesting thing though, because but that's an interesting thing though, because that's what happens. And it's almost like, if you all buy into this set, it works. If you all buy into that set, it works. But if you do half of this and half of that, it doesn't work. So that's part of the art.
Right. The other part of the art is me saying, okay, what do you like out here? What position do you like, Marcelo? I like this can. Cool. So if I want someone to play this tower instead of this can, I'm not going to use Marcelo because he likes that can. Tyler, what do you like? I really like that tower. Perfect. I need someone to go to the tower. Tyler, you're in. Marcelo, you're down. And that's where you're managing the personnel as far as.
So you're going to sit me. Now we're already talking. So all of this big contracting, you're going to sit me. I'm not coming.
Yeah, that's fair. I honestly, your spot was already filled by Tyler and Mouse. So
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Disposable.
$12 million. The $12 million are going to them. Sorry.
Disposable. Well, I still get 10%, right?
Of
the winnings.
Yes, of the
winnings.
Good. Yes, of the winnings. It's on the air. People know it. It's been recorded. I can't back out. You'll get a lawyer. I know how this shit works. No one wins. No one wins.
All right, Joey, I gotta ask. Once again, the Discord has a great question here. Let's talk about adding even more bunkers to the field, more snake beams. We could see a little bit of a clutter going on out there for next year. What's your take on the new bunkers we're adding?
So I talked to Tro about this a little bit.
Why the fuck do we have more snakes? You can't film snakes.
Hold on. Calm down. You didn't talk to Tro.
Snakes on a plane.
I didn't. Baby. You're right.
Snakes on a plane.
I talked to Tro, and he said it's not necessarily the thing that Sup Air put out isn't what he had in mind. What he's talking about is like that the last event we just played. He's talking about taking those and putting them around that center square shit they have. So in the very middle, there would be beams connecting all the big stuff.
Ah, wow.
Why?
So
Snake
people
to make it more hard to film, to ref and film.
Well, I brought that part up, but he thinks it'll create. He thinks it'll create. I'm telling you what he told me. He thinks it'll create more diversity in the layout, so it's not the same thing over and over and over again. I said if you just get rid of a lot of these big ass bunkers, the same thing will happen, and it'll come back to. And he's like, yes, but then it's just a big giant gunfight. Blah 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 blah.
Let me just say this.
It's me, so let's do that.
The middle is so difficult for these referees to judge.
Any of the big bunkers, any big bunker.
Like at World Cup, there was multiple times I saw after watching our film, we're playing against, I'm not even going to say a team, whatever. We shoot a player in the middle. He turns around, puts his back to the bunker and is like, is anybody going to check me? No. Okay. I'm back in, baby. Yeah. Keeps playing. I'm like, yo, in the impact game, I wrap the wedge, the center wedge, shoot Matt Jackson in his hand. He goes in, is like, yo, anybody? Nothing? Okay, I'm good. Then I saw that I shot him. I go to make my next move, and he shoots me. And then I'm out, and he's in. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. And after the game, he's like, yeah, got me in my hand. I was like, this is crazy. And I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult, but we got to be mindful of these zones that we can't be having people getting greasy up in these middles.
I got to tell you, I think if we have this discussion with the three of us, we're all going to say the exact same thing because we all feel exactly the same way. I think what needs to happen is we need to be able to express this to the powers that be without making it be our situation, right? It can't be I did this and this happened. It has to be like big picture stuff. Like, and I brought it up like this, like all those big bunkers just make it so you give the refs less ability to do their job and more power to make it so the game is not actually won by the best team. Does that make sense? Because because the best team's not necessarily going to win. It's going to be the team that gets away with the most amount of shit. It's not the refs necessarily fault because there's so much big shit out there. The refs can only see so much.
Yeah, it's just a tough thing altogether. Reffing paintball in general is extremely difficult.
Never would do it. I respect the hell out of all of those guys.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see more bunkers out there. It's going to get wild. I'm telling you, it's about to get wild.
I told him, I was like, why don't you just drop a snake at home and just run that thing all the way down? We'll just
right down the middle.
Off the break and just crawl the whole way.
I'll tell you what, watching Mike Kimnen's league this last year where they brought the X back and got rid of a lot of the big bunkers, as a spectator, it was spectacular. Yeah. You could see everything on both sides. Like, you could see the action. It was really entertaining. Dude, it took teamwork and high level moves.
I had a hard time like in the VIP being able to. I'd have to literally go to the side where I'm scouting, and I'd have to switch every time to actually see the breaks because you can't sit anywhere and see everything.
My girlfriend was in the VIP and she literally saw, like, she was running back and forth because of that. She's like, yeah, if I was in one seat, I couldn't see everything, and they couldn't see anything that happened on the snake side. That's not good.
So, and I agree. I mean,
the skybox was dope, though. Do you see the skybox? Skybox was dope.
I did. I think the skybox on like the same side as the VIP, just behind it, on top of it, over it, would have been better, just because those guys were getting riddled with pink paint.
Yeah, but they put a net up though.
Yeah, the paint's still breaking all over, splattered all over you. Imagine you paid that much money to be up there, and you're just getting littered. For
sure. Well, the pink paint shouldn't be okay. Let's talk about Joey. We do have to let you go soon. I have a flight literally in a couple hours, going to Punta Cana. Little celebration vacation. Got to make it happen.
Whatever. My fucking lottery ticket.
I'll send your lottery ticket, bro. I'm gonna send it. You can join.
When I hit like 80 grand on that, I'm gonna be like, yeah, who's a real winner now, motherfucker?
I love it, dude. I hope you win 80 grand on it.
Me too.
Then I get 8 grand.
That's right.
$8 grand's great, dude. I'm stoked.
Still winning.
8 grand, bro.
Shit. Horrible. I hope I don't win.
Yeah. Move of the event paid for my trip, so I'm good.
That's true.
Yeah, 100%. Which I don't even know I don't know where I got it. I don't know if it was in the Tauntaun match or the finals match. I don't know.
It had to have been the finals. And shout out to Pate Smith Law.
Pate Smith Law, dude.
Yeah. I had to be. I think it's the Tauntaun. I think it's when you smash that one point where Axel made the shot and blew up Archie, and then you like were right there. Honestly, I was talking to somebody during that point, and I was like, "Yo, if Archie didn't get shot by Axel, Marcelo would have never been able to get that kill on Axel that easily."
Well, I was gonna bunker him.
I know, but as soon as he shot him,
like,
it's time to go,
totally.
And he stood up, and you were like, "Brah." I was like, "Wow!" Like Archie dying was the best thing that could happen right there.
The only reason I didn't bunker him is because I got to that point with all the intention of just going around and bunkering him, but my loader was half full, so I was rattling. It was like so loud, and I was like. Shit, it's so loud. If I go, he's gonna like debunk me or something. I was like, hold on a second, let me recollect, figure out what's going on, maybe load. And then he shot Archie, and so I didn't have time to load. And I was like, oh, he's rapping. That's easy. It just kind of fell into my lap. I don't know though. I feel like the move that I don't know who it was from Level. I forget, or not Level. Lucky 15s. Yeah, it was Jim from Lucky 15s. Lucky 15s made Sunday morning against Revo. They lost the match, and so I guess people were like, well, you didn't win the match off of it, but it was like to tie the game. He came through the middle and bunkered 3 people and hit the buzzer. I was like, that's move of the day. That's dope. But moments matter, I guess.
Yep,
you know, 100%. Like the timing of it, how big it is, that all matters. So I guess that's why.
It's kind of like you're not going to win coach MVP or coach of the event if you don't win the event.
Yeah.
Like, it's a no-brainer. If you win the event, you're coach of the event, period.
Hey, I'm not complaining. My trip is paid for, which is amazing. I'm very excited for that. But again, that's the reason that why do you even bring that up? That we have a couple. We're going to Punta Cana, bro. Punta Cana.
Guy. Whatever,
dude. Look at this. I don't know if this is the right one. I might have grabbed the wrong one. I've got a bunch over here. This is it. World Cup 2023. I got the right one.
I'll show you the one for Chicago.
What does that look like? Mud?
It's like mud. Yours. It's like yours, but with a little bit of mud on it.
Damn, this is the one. This is paying for Punta Cana. Thank you, Pate Smith Law.
Are we just going to start showing stuff off? Is that what we're doing? Are we just?
Damn, Joey! Look at you, bro. Damn, Joey! I knew you had him right there.
Hold on.
Damn, big dog.
Are we flexing on each other? What, you want to see my ring? What, you want my ring? What's up? What do you want? What do you want, dog? I got shit too. I got shit.
I got shit, dog. Check out the YouTube. Check out the YouTube for the flex off. And then
I don't even know if I can. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what I can do with
Stop
those
it. Your
rings, bro.
7-man
This
and
is
5-man
insane.
rings don't count.
None of these are 7-man. They're all
7-man and 5-man
NXL.
rings. Listen, I don't want to hear about your
Oh,
3-man
shit.
open competition.
NXL.
Calm down.
NXL.
NXL 3-man. I get it. It happens.
NXL 3-man.
5-man mechanical. I get that. There's your 7-man mechanical. Where's the Mounds? Where's your Moundsfield one?
NXL.
There's the Moundsfield.
Moundsfield.
Good job.
NXL. Oh shit! Let's pull they all. Oh, NXL. Damn, this is nuts, bro.
Yeah, it's a good thing you got a good team.
Marcelo, what are you sipping on right now?
Bro,
what do you got?
Well, it's Maker's Mark. Yep,
Maker's
definitely
Mark.
has some
Shout out
whiskey.
to Maker's Mark.
And also some Sniper whiskey that I got for the last World Cup for being like sniper of the event, which I guess they went away from it. Remember that? That's what's his name? Robbie Goldsmith. He had that the whiskey. Yeah. So I have that whiskey still.
Robbie's the man. I like Robbie.
Robbie's the man. Yeah. My team does, dude. It's all about the team. You can't win tournaments without a team.
No, we all know.
These days.
I mean, honestly, Ty and I both know that Ryan's carried you for a long time now. Like, we know that. We watch it.
That's why his back's broken.
We watch the film.
That's why his back doesn't work. You know what I mean?
You just get the words because they're like, hey, let's keep him happy.
See, I've felt like for a long time that I carried him and he got the awards. You know, I was like, damn, Ryan keeps getting the awards, but I'm the one shooting everyone off the break.
Listen,
I'm the one communicating.
We all heard you crying and whining about it, which is why you're getting them now. It's like common knowledge
Maddie,
and painful.
I said, Maddie, hey, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, like, please.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you beg for it. It happens.
Hey, beggars can be choosers.
Maddie's your friend. It's cool.
Beggars can be choosers.
Jesus,
you know what I'm saying?
We have to shit on this kid next year. 100%.
God.
100%.
It's out of hand
again. Can't let this happen again.
You guys did this. I was just trying to say that I got to go because I'm going on vacation. You guys shit on me. That I'm trying to go on vacation. You guys shit on me.
Again, why are we shitting on you? Oh, because I have to go on vacation. Fuck out of here.
It's fucked up, man. Fucked up. It's not fair. All right.
You know what?
I spend the whole year focusing and dedicating myself to you guys, and then you just shit on me.
I'm gonna send you some awards for that.
I don't even think I'm that good. I started this out by saying I got lucky. People ran into my fucking guns. You know, it was like lucky.
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah. Now you agree.
There's no skill to it at all. I mean, honestly,
at the start of the show,
I say the same shit. I say the same shit when people are like, "Great job." I'm like, "Bro, I just close my eyes and hope it all works out." I don't even know what's going on out there most of the time.
That's what I would do if I were you.
I literally just get lucky. I mean, I'm really lucky at paintball though, really lucky. But I just get lucky.
Too. It seems like so lucky. Damn. Now I feel bad. I don't want to come off as a jerk. It just, they're on my desk. I just feel like they're on my desk.
No, it's too late. There's nothing you can do right now to not look like a jerk. It's fine, bro. It's fine.
Is that true? Fuck. Damn. Dude. Well, shoot. I've got like a first class flight to catch to Dominican Republic. So
well, I hope you don't get kidnapped. Someone's gonna see this video and all those rings you have and be like, kidnap him. Ask for the rings. And his championship belt.
That's for the rings. Oh, we didn't even show the belt. The belt's down there.
We did. You showed the belt. Shit, you already showed the belt.
Fuck
we saw the belt.
The fucking belt. Fuck the belt. Damn it, guys. All right, I'm sorry. My apologies.
Dude, this is good.
This
is good stuff. We're back in it.
All
right, Joey, before we let you go, there are a couple of Discord questions. Marchie, I'm not sure if you want to fire one off. We have a lot of people sounding off. And if you haven't or you don't know, we have a whole chat room, PTG World. You can join by going to the website. But people showed out for you tonight, Joey. They really appreciate
Joey Blute
doing in the game.
The best ever.
I give it to you real. Give it to you raw.
Come on, you showed me your plaques. Are we hating on you now?
No, because I don't have as many as you. You flexed harder, so we have to hate on you.
I'm always gonna flex harder, bro.
All right. We'll see next year, bud. We'll see next year. Oh, you trying to show? What are you showing me?
He's literally flexing on the YouTube. Head on over. Check him out.
Look at him with his fancy watch and shit too. Look at him. Don't act like we don't see this shit. Oh, gold chain ass. Shut up. What's the question?
All right, we got Young Hoosier. We got Young Hoosier. One of my
favorite coaches of all damn time. I just gotta say it. One of my favorite fucking people of all time. Amazing.
Run it
without a doubt.
Joey, let's hit him with the hard questions though. Let's hit him.
Hard ones.
Well, this is a good one. This is a good one for the paintball community at large. We got a lot of people that tune in. What should teams be talking about or doing during the off season in preparation for the next season?
I mean, to me, it's top down, right? Like you got to have the organization, you have to have that stuff. But as far as if you're talking like an individual player to get better for next year, honestly, go find the best person you can and just let him slaughter you in one-on-ones until you slaughter him. I'm a firm believer that 99% of what we do on the field goes back to one-on-ones, and obviously you have to do the team play and all that other stuff. But if you're talking just fundamentals working on this offseason, if you go out and you just pound the one-on-one pavement super hard all year and play people that are better than you, don't go out and smack kids around, get smacked around. It's you learn so much doing that. And it's honestly the hardest thing you can do individually, practice-wise. You go play 10 one-on-ones, I promise you that's a hell of a lot harder than a full day of playing at an event.
Yeah, and you're right. If you think about all the engagements, it's a bunch of one-on-ones you're playing out there.
Yep.
You know, team paintball, of course, but you got to be really good at gunfighting as well.
Yeah, we're talking off-season stuff, right? Off-season, it's not necessarily about the team play because that's honestly just a giant resource dump. I think at that point, it's just sharpening the knife, right? Like you got to be ready for when team play starts, you're there to go. Obviously, if you got a well-funded team, go out and play, but one-on-ones, man. One-on-ones.
Hell yeah. Love that.
I love it. Joey, the Dorfster 420. I would like to hear what plans Joey has for the future of the organization, since our talented core isn't getting any younger and they tend to get experienced players instead of youth in the offseason.
Well, Dorf 420 needs to pay closer attention. I got the up and comers coming too. I got Chris Horn. Some of you guys on the pro side know who Chris Horn is.
Dope, dude. Chris is a good fucking player. That's a great pickup.
I promise you that kid will be known in the next 2 years. He will be somebody that everyone's like, oh shit, where'd this kid come from? He puts in more work than anyone I know. And I explained to him when he came on the team that,
you know me, you know Tyler. So come on, calm down.
It's a race, right? It's a race. And these cats have been running it for 20 years. You can't just sprint and stop. You got to keep going. When they stop, you got to keep going. That's the only way you'll ever catch up. And he has. He didn't miss a whole weekend this whole year. He played every weekend.
You know what impresses me about him is every time I've seen him on the field, like you could have players that are really talented, have good fundamentals, good skills, good awareness even. Poise impresses me. Certain moments, how they react in matches, poise impresses me.
Yeah.
He has that. Yep. He's shown that. And that's incredible. That is something that usually takes a lot of years, a lot of experience, a lot of time in tournaments. And he's seemed to find that really fast.
Yeah. Yeah. He was a diamond in the rough that's starting to shine real nice. So I think totally. I think in the next 2 years, like, I mean, honestly, like people like Chad, if he's not careful, he'll lose his spot to him. And it's just being honest.
Damn, Chad.
I mean, Chad lost at the first event. Chad lost a spot to him.
Chad can bring him some goddamn sushi, though.
Well,
Chad,
that's why
fish on lock.
We keep Chad around because of his jigging. That's a style of fishing. That's a style of fishing.
Man, dude, I love Chad.
I thought it was a dance. Isn't it a dance?
It may be, but he's a jigger fisherman.
The Irish
jig style.
I think the Irish do that dance.
I don't even know what it is, but he's always posting about it. So
no, he's a beast in the water. He's catching everything under the sun.
Facts.
He's out there cooking it up. All right, I want to know personally your thoughts on the Blast Camp heckler. I'm sure you heard about the Blast Camp heckler. No,
the cheerleader girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. No, I was out there when she was doing that on the buy round that one morning.
She was letting it rip.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, God, I hope that's not an all year thing on all of us though. That'd be rough next year.
Well, imagine
if it's got her there all year doing that to us. I might cry. I might cheer back at her.
We're gonna have to get some cheer squads out there.
Seriously.
But it's like if you let that kind of stuff affect you, your head's not in the right place already. You got to be so dedicated to your craft that nothing can get into your mind.
Agreed.
And imagine we make it big, like this thing goes real big. There's going to be 100 of her, 100 times. I don't even probably more hecklers everywhere. You know what I mean? So you got to be resilient in your mental framework.
I might work on that next year. Get my own cheerleading squad going.
You know what I'm saying?
Joey, how about the 3-7 format? How'd you guys feel about that?
I thought it was not cool.
Nobody thought it was cool.
It wasn't my cup of tea, I think is what I posted online. I think we're the only team to score 3 points. I think that happened.
You did it multiple times.
That happened twice.
Like midway through the tournament, I was like, hey, Jason, guess what? Here's what's funny. Damage is the only team to score 3 points, and they've done it four times. I was like, dude, of course they are.
I mean, honestly, if you want to play that style of paintball, we'll actually probably do better than most because we know how to get to the spot. We know how to push the button, and then we'll just lock you out of it.
Right. Yeah, it's
So
an interesting
I'll win
thing
9-0.
Yeah, right.
So what do you think about more buzzers? Maybe like 10 buzzers on the field.
Stop it. Joey had a great idea.
What is it?
Joey, tell him your idea, your version of my version.
2 minutes, 2 points. 2 minutes, 2 points. Any point in time in the game you score within 2 minutes, you get 2 points. Whether it's the very first point you score it in 40 seconds, 50 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, it doesn't matter. As long as it's under 2 minutes, you get 2 points.
So I think 2 minutes is too long, but I sat with what you said for a long time. And then watching the 3-7 exhibition, there was something too, because I watched all the games Wednesday and then I went right to watching all the games Thursday, which was the normal format. And it was one of the first matches. I forget the teams were playing, but it was 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 3-4, 4-4, 5-5, or 5-4, 5-5, and then went to overtime.
Yep.
And there was something about that scoring format. And I've been a huge hater on the 3-7 thing.
Yep.
But there was something about that format that I was like, it's not as exciting as what I was watching. Watching like 7-0, 14-0, you know, like it was like kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I love bringing in more scoring format. So, so more scoring format. What the hell kind of sentence did I just put together there? More of a like high scoring format, I should say. So I think 2 minutes is a little too long, but I've increased what I thought.
The reason why I think 2 minutes, not the 24-second or the 30-second and that stuff, is because it's hard enough to ref these events.
Totally agree.
24 or 30 seconds.
Your point was great. Your point was great. Your point was great. I agree. Yeah, 30 seconds, you have a little bit of chaos. I think a minute is really good. Because a minute is like so doable, but dude, 2 minutes is an eternity. I think the average.
If you score in 2 minutes,
you're right.
You get 2 points.
You're right, and
you can do the same thing.
That's where my perspective change is like, okay, maybe it shouldn't matter. I do think if you extend the time, that points are worth 2. I do think that you have to also have some sort of rule where if it's in the last minute of the game, those rules don't apply. I think
2 minutes.
Okay. Right. Again, I'm not married to my times, right? But I think there needs to be some sort of like in the last 2 minutes, it's like, okay, it's point for point kind of thing. But I do think, like if it was like, okay, boom, that point was scored in 90 seconds. So it's under 2 minutes. So 2-0.
Yep.
And then it's 2-2. Oh, and then then it was a long point, so it's 3-2, but then it was a quick point, so it's 4-3.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's fucking exciting. It's just this back and forth bang bang.
Yep.
And there was something too, and again on the show, we've had like 4 episodes talking about the new format. I was such a hater of that scoring, but there was something about watching the actual scoring that was stimulating.
Yeah.
And so with that, I was like, oh man, okay. And then when you brought up 2 minutes should be 2 points, I was like, huh. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I think there's something there. So I don't like the 7-3 format with the buzzer at the 50. I just don't love changing the gameplay that way. I don't think anyone did. I think the league realizes that. And I love Tom Cole for trying it. And Tom's the man. Tom is truly the man.
I love trying.
Totally.
Hold on. But what about more buzzers?
No, stop. Where's that? No. Yeah, let's do that or that. All the things,
those all work. Yeah, those all work.
So, I like the thing of, maybe it's a minute, maybe it's, I like a minute, but maybe it's 2 minutes, maybe it's a minute. Got to test it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But having that scoring where it's like, okay, now it's like super exciting and entertaining. It's like boom, 2-0 and then 4-0. And then now you have games that are like 16-11, you know,
100%.
That's fucking cool.
And if I'm up by 5, you could still come back.
Yeah, you can come back. Yeah, totally.
Where now, if you're up by 5, I mean, you're fucked.
Right.
That's a big climb.
That's it. You're fucked. So now with that, you go score a quick point. Now that's 2. Like now I'm only up by 3. Oh shit. They could literally catch us in 2 points if we're not careful.
100%.
So it just changes the way you have to play everything.
Yeah.
I love you guys. If we have any last major questions, let's do it. But otherwise, I gotta go. I gotta get the show edited and uploaded. And I gotta get to the airport.
Dude.
Guy. Honestly, I think we should keep going until you miss your flight. That's what I think.
I usually don't miss, so probably not going to happen.
Boom.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. If you guys ever want to do it, just reach out. I'm always available.
Dude, we appreciate you, Joey, straight up.
No worries,
And
man.
thank you for always taking the time, man.
Yeah, Joey, you're not only a fan favorite, everyone PTG. We have a Discord that you're probably not aware of, but they love when you're on. And I know Tyler and myself both love
We got to
when you're
get
on.
Joey
Just
in
for
the
real.
Discord. We got to get Joey in the
Listen,
Discord.
I have Discord. I know about Discord.
What?
I might be a bit of a boomer, but I do have Discord. Yeah.
Get in there, bro. Hang
Dude,
out with us.
You're in there.
All right, I'll sign up.
No, I mean,
No,
okay,
yeah,
you
we'll send you a link.
We'll just
Yeah,
get
We'll
you
send
in.
you a link.
Yeah,
Get in
give me
there,
a link.
bro.
I'm in. I'm on it.
Fuck yeah.
I'm on.
Let's
it.
go.
You won't get access to the GOAT channel, even though you are a GOAT. You are a GOAT.
I
Don't
think
worry.
that's kind of fucked up.
I know, but it's exclusive. These motherfuckers are real GOATs.
Exclusive. How much more exclusive do I got to get?
You get
I'm
the
one of
players
2
chat.
coaches that won this year.
You get the players chat. You know what I mean? It's
Hey,
not like
players
it's not
chat's
that
popping.
kind of GOAT. You know, yeah, the players chat's
No,
popping.
that's good. That's good. That's
Awesome. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Joey. I'll send it to you literally like as soon as we get off this deal.
perfect.
Yep. And Joey, if we don't talk, happy holidays to you.
Yeah, you
Happy
guys too.
holidays out there.
Take care of your families. If you guys
yeah,
ever decide you want to leave your teams, please give me a call. You know, always
One of the
selling,
best general managers around,
Always
man.
selling.
Straight up.
Always
Always
Without a doubt. All right,
you, Joey.
Much
All right,
love,
guys.
brother. Peace.
Appreciate you.
Peace. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and rocking with us. If you guys loved the episode, please head over to ptgpaintball.com. Click the orange Patreon link in the top right corner. Become a supporter at any level. We greatly appreciate it. We truly appreciate all of the supporters, the GOATs. You guys are amazing. But if you just want access to the Discord, you can get a free membership for 7 days. See if you like it. If you don't, cancel. Easy peasy. If you do love it, you can stay part of the community and learn all sorts of amazing things about the game and build a great friendship and community vibe with the group. If you don't want to do any of that, please like, share, comment, subscribe. That goes a long way. Just getting our content in front of the masses really means a lot and does a lot for paintball as a whole. So, as always, we will see you guys very soon.